in. So I wanted to show you how to make your own tinctures today. A tincture is, again for review, if you don't know, a tincture is a medicinal liquid made from an herb, and it is soaked in alcohol. Usually, now you can make a glycerin tincture, but I'm not going to be focusing on that today. Today I'm going to show you how to make it using vodka. So let's get started. You want to start with a dry herb or a fresh herb. If you use fresh herbs, they're still kind of green and have some water content in them. So for those herbs, you may want to use a stronger alcohol, like grain alcohol that's 90% or 95%. So that would be fine. But what you will need is some glass mason jars, and I have here a quart size jar. This one here has dry hibiscus flower. I already started it, and I don't know if you can see that, but the liquid is kind of red already in there. But whenever you make your tinctures, you want to make sure that you start with a clean mason jars, clean glass jars. Also, you want to make sure that you have your dried herbs. Now, I use dry herbs. Some people will use fresh, like I said, but dry herbs are best. This one is mullein leaf, if you can see that. The mullein leaf is kind of a fuzzy looking leaf, but it's very good for coughs and asthma issues, allergies, any kind of respiratory stuff. Mullein leaf is very good for that. So is lobelia, but I couldn't get lobelia this time, so I picked up some mullein leaf to make my tincture. You can use things like German chamomile flowers. If you can see that in there, German chamomile flowers. So you will need your herbs, you will need your clean glass mason jars, and you will need some kind of vodka. This one here is Nikolai vodka, and it is 40%, and you can find it usually, it'll say somewhere on your bottle, 40%. I get the cheapest vodka that I can get, and I get the big bottles. And I was asked the other day, it was so funny, I walked in and I picked up 3 of these bottles. And the cashier looked at me, she looked up and down, she says, "You're not going to drink that stuff, are you?" And I said, "Oh no, I use this to make my tinctures and my cleaning supplies." So it was funny. But anyway, no, I don't drink that. That's too strong and yucky, but it's good for cleaning and it's good for medicine. Not to drink straight, but to make your tinctures. So what I have done, this is my mullein leaf. Let me see if you can see that on there. It's dry mullein leaf, and I make my labels so that they're very clear. I put what it is, dry or fresh herb. Then I put the date and what I use to soak it in. This one is 40% vodka, or 40% alcohol, which is vodka. And then I have where I got it from. This one, I got it from Back in the Day Essentials, a friend of mine who sells some herbs and tinctures and stuff. So I got these herbs from her. You'll want to fill your mason jar about halfway, maybe a third of the way to halfway up with your dry herbs. Put your dry herbs in there, and then start to pour in your vodka. Fill it up to the very top. Then put on your lid, screw that on, and give it a good shake. Let it sit for a couple of days. Give it another shake. And you want to hide this away in your cabinet maybe a good 4 to 6 weeks, so that the alcohol can draw out all the medicinal properties from the herb. And as it does that, you'll notice right away that the liquid in there is not, it doesn't stay clear. Usually it'll turn a yellowish, brownish, or even reddish color, depending on what herb that you're using in there for your tincture. This is mullein leaf, so it's green, and I don't know if you can see that at the bottom. There you can see kind of the color. It's kind of a brownish yellow already. It's, I don't know if you can, yeah, see? You can see through the glass. It's kind of a yellow, greenish yellow brown color. This one here, I have dry chamomile flowers in this one. See? Dry chamomile flowers. And if you notice, the liquid is already kind of a brown color. It's very brown. And the flowers are kind of floating towards the top. So make sure you give it a good shake every day or every other day, and store them in a dark place, like your cabinet or pantry, and for about 4 to 6 weeks. After that time, then what you want to do is you want to strain out this liquid using either coffee filters, or you can use a cheesecloth that's folded over, and pour it out of here into some clean glass jars through the filter. Okay, and when you're done, you want to squeeze that filter out to get all of that liquid through there without the sediment. You don't want that sediment in there necessarily. So you want to filter that out. Once you do that, it's ready to use, but I would transfer it into smaller glass jars with, or glass bottles with a glass dropper. Okay, I've ordered some brown glass bottles, amber glass bottles with the glass droppers. I should be getting them in a couple of days. But that's what I'll be storing my finished or filtered tinctures in. And those, you can keep those either on your shelf or wherever, your medicine cabinet. And a tincture, if it's made properly and with alcohol, an alcohol tincture will last for years. And you can use that. The way to use your tinctures, once you've made them, you want to take those glass droppers, and if you're brave and strong, you can just put a couple of drops under your tongue. I tried that the first time, and it was fire going down your throat. So since then, I always dilute my tincture into just about 2 ounces or an ounce of rice milk or water or tea. You can use almond milk or regular milk, dairy milk, goat milk. Any of that is fine. But just to dilute it a little bit because it's very strong. And so for an adult, you can use 1 dropper full of whichever the tincture is. Between 1 and 3 dropperfuls, depending on the herb. You want to do some research and find out what the dosage might be for you. For a child, you definitely want to go less than that. Maybe a few drops at a time. And you can use that for yourself a few times a day. What I have done personally is when I feel I'm coming down with something, sore throat, or I'm starting to feel yucky, maybe even a fever, I'll use my echinacea tincture. And I usually do 2 dropperfuls of that in rice milk and just drink it 2-3 times a day. And that really helps to build your immune system. You can do your research online and see what the different herbs can help you with. But as you may already know, chamomile The chamomile flower is known for when you make a tea with it, it helps to calm and soothe you so you can help you get to sleep. It won't put you to sleep, but it helps you relax and calm down enough that you can go to sleep. Or if your nerves are high, or you know, you're very excited, whatever, chamomile tea is usually very good for calming. So you make a tincture, you use the tincture the same way. You put a few drops, or a dropperful for about an adult, about a dropperful or two in water, or a warm tea, or rice milk, or whatever. See, I've got here, this is the mullein leaf. Mullein leaf is good for respiratory type stuff, allergies and coughs and things like that. Hibiscus, do some research on this one. This one's a good one. I know that here in our culture, here in the valleys, deep South Texas, a lot of people use hibiscus to make a tea to help you lose some weight. That's the way I've always known it. Growing up, hibiscus tea was for losing weight. But there are a lot of other benefits for using hibiscus. So I would recommend that you do some research and find out what some of those benefits might be, and try your hand at making your own tinctures. Now remember, all you need is the glass jars with lids, because you want to secure them, your dried herbs, and this is mullein leaf. Can you see that there? Mullein leaf. Or this one, I have German chamomile flowers. You can use lavender, peppermint, all sorts of things. Here's chamomile. This is what it looks like in the jar. It separates, and that's okay. Just remember to shake it up every day or so. And you will need some vodka, and 40% or 50% alcohol, and let it sit for, like I said, let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks. And then after that, you'll want to strain it through either a coffee filter or your multiple layers of cheesecloth. Strain that out to get all the liquid out of that, and then transfer that into your clean glass jars. Preferably something that'll block out the sunlight, like the amber glass bottles, or the blue cobalt bottles. Those are good also for storage. Anyway, tinctures should last you, if you make them with alcohol, they should last you a good several years on your shelf. If you use vegetable glycerin, I think you have to use them within 6 months, 3 to 6 months, I think. So I don't make my tinctures with glycerin. I use the alcohol. They last a lot longer. And then for dosage, you only need a few drops at a time. So real easy to make your own tinctures. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will post this on my blog at it's www.aminutewithmarcy.blogspot.com. www.aminutewithmarcy.blogspot.com. So you can go there and watch this video again if you want to see a little bit more, or if you didn't catch it from the beginning. But I hope it helps you. Take care of yourself. You can look up, do a lot of research, or a little research on taking charge of your own health. Do things naturally. I really recommend that you do that. I truly believe God in His creation has provided us with everything we need to be happy, to be healthy and well. And we just need to learn how to use it. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Y'all have a great week, a great day. And for me, this is the second day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. For those of you who are observing that, happy feast to y'all. And y'all have a great week. Okay, talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for joining me. Shalom, shalom. Bye-bye.